Hey, welcome back to another edition of Everything Football 6-2. I'm your host, Jonathan Big Tex Johnson, a.k.a. Uncle Tex, a.k.a. Professor Tex. It's going to be a short video. I saw a little bit earlier today where Dwayne Haskins, Ohio State great, actually got killed over in South Florida. I think he ran out of gas or something to that effect, and I think some big dump truck hit him when he tried to get out of his vehicle or something of that effect. And I only heard about this actually because of Des Bryant on Twitter, and I just figured he was just, and I didn't even know he was talking about until I actually read into it, dealing with Adam Schefter. And so Adam Schefter reports this because this comes to ESPN. A standout Ohio State before struggling to catch on with Washington and Pittsburgh in the NFL. Died this morning when he got hit by a car in South Florida. Per his agent, Cedric Saunders, Haskins would have turned 25 years old May 3rd. 24-year-old. And it kind of hits me a little bit because I remember actually when I was 24, which probably would put me back in like around 1992, something to that effect. And it's sad. I did a piece on Dwayne Haskins. When you're young and you're dumb, you do dumb things. That happens, etc., etc., etc. That happens in all sports. When you are drafted a certain, when you're drafted and whatnot, people think, oh, this, whatever. I mean, but in the end, this really doesn't have anything to have to do with football. This has to do with the respect of the families, of the family, for the most part. I said what I said back during that particular time because that's what was going on back during that time when he's with the Skins. It's sad. He had moved on. He was over there in Pittsburgh. I don't think he played a lot last year. I think he was probably third-string quarterback. And he was out there getting ready to go work out with his teammates and whatnot and all that stuff, trying to get his stuff together because you never know. It can happen. Kid was only 24 years old, man. And for football should be kind of some of the last things, especially when it comes to death of a young player like that. No need to be talking about the struggling or this, that, and the other that went on while he was playing. Played for the Redskins, Washington football team, Commanders, whatever the hell they call themselves now. Plays for the Pittsburgh Steelers, and he was there trying to get himself together, and he tragically got killed. Move on. But for struggling and all this, that, and the other, I mean, look, man, I don't even want to hear all that. That's unnecessary. Then, to pour more salt in the wound, Gil Brandt, the famous GM for the Dallas Cowboys, that goddamn Klansman, if he stayed in school one more year, he wouldn't have been jogging on the side of the highway being silly. Now, what kind of shit is that for somebody to say? Especially being after one of the beloved Cowboys, Rayfield Wright, who just passed away, who he's responsible for drafting. I think Fort Valley State or whatever back in '67 and whatnot, and probably I think in the Ring of Hall of Fame and stuff like, and in the Pro Football Hall of Fame and whatnot. But he'll sit up there and be like, oh well, Rayfield Wright. I mean, everybody, some people to give him because it's Rayfield Wright and that stuff that happened. But the insensitive comments on a young player who was just going into basically his third or fourth year. See, this is the type of BS, and that's why, because I first heard about all of this basically through Des Bryant on my Twitter feed. And I said, what is Des going off on? And then I saw what he was going off on. And he has every right to feel that way. And that's the sad part about this whole situation and whatnot. If somebody dies like that, especially a young player who's just 24 years old. We're talking about somebody who was just born just in 1997. Right? And he's trying to get himself together. They've just traded for Mitch Trubisky, and it was going to be a competition for quarterback. Because the young man, I always said I thought he could play. Got the arm. He was the drop back passer, and he had the arm, he had the talent, and everything like that. And hell, he was the reason why Joe Burrow switched and went on to LSU. So you're talking about him like that. So the way that I look at the whole situation, being insensitive to the family. Just say the young man passed away or don't say anything at all. Because if these were other types of quarterbacks, you wouldn't even say anything like that. And it's just insensitive on how these guys are saying the things they have. It's like there is no need to bring up all of that particular type of baggage. No need. Especially after a player has passed away and tragically died that way, especially his life cut short at the age of 24. No reason in it. But this is what happens. This goes to show you that the NFL, like most sports, but definitely NFL, because that's what I talk about, is a meat grinder. And they chew you up and spit you out. He deserves more respect than what he was given from Schefter and from Brandt, whatever his damn name is. That damn Klansman. Right? But he'll take full credit for drafting Rayfield Wright, who just passed away, who's actually the same age as my father. Right? So, this is what enrages a lot of older football players. And just something that Des Bryant said. Other guys need to step up and say something. Like he said, shit, I can still play Des. I know Des is in great shape. He does things, but he's like the integrity of the game and how they do it, how they do certain things. Why even be in something like that? Got your money, get up out of Dodge, man. And it's really sad is that way. And they're saying Adam Schefter is getting roasted on Twitter. Well, he need to be. So does that old ass Klansman Gil Brandt needs to be as well. He needs to feel the goddamn wrath of that. Because all he had to do was say absolutely nothing. Don't say anything at all. If you don't have anything nice to say, then don't say anything at all. You don't have anything nice to say, so you still said it. XM Radio, wherever he was on. That has nothing to do with his passing away. I don't know the circumstance. I just know the young man got hit. That's all I know. And he passed away. Life cut short just like that. His family is grieving for that. I'm grieving simply because I remember being that age. And it doesn't have anything to do in no stupid ass college. Which is overrated if you ask me, but that's another story. But if he would have stayed in school one more year, he wouldn't have been jogging on the side of the road highway being silly. The fuck out of here, man. You know what? And this motherfucker's like, what is he, like 90 years old? Okay, so, I already know his mindset. And this is what I say all the time, and this is what I was talking about last week with the whole Channing Crowder and the whole stuff talking about Russell Wilson and all of that type of stuff like that. It's like they roll a particular type of way. And we need to roll that certain way too. Somebody need to check his old ass. Check Adam Schefter. Just the way that Des Bryant, and kudos to that brother. Because you could never be able to say anything like that to that of a white player and get away with it. You wouldn't even say it. You just say this quarterback, da-da-da, and go away with it. But I can say anything about them jokers as I want because as far as I'm concerned, they're stupid. Damn shame. Damn shame. But this is where we're still at. This is where we're still at. And that's the disheartening thing about that. And that's Gil Bryant was a GM, great GM, and all that stuff for America's team. A team that I grew up loving. Still root for it to this day. But that's a low blow. That's a very low blow. For some joker pushing 100 years old, and that's all you got to say. You say, man, that's sad. Real sad. My condolences go out to him and his family. But you got to still throw salt in the wound about going to a fucking college. Fuck OSU. Fuck a college. This man just got killed. And his family got to go bury him in a few days. Fuck the NFL. You know what I'm saying? Definitely fuck ESPN, which is why I give props out to all of the cats, content creators that's in sports, and it covers football, all sports for that matter, but definitely cover football like myself. I don't even watch ESPN for various reasons. Haven't watched really ESPN. I watch ESPN for college football. No pregame, no postgame. I just watch it because I have the games on my television and I'll watch it. And that's it. But that's the kind of nastiness, the bullshitness stuff that goes on in that particular for the NFL. And somebody needs to check Gil Bryant's old goddamn mummer's ass, his old ass, his old decaying ass. You follow what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. And somebody definitely check that fucker Adam Schefter, because he's always in some shit anyway. Quiet as kept. So kudos to Dez Bryant. Smash the like button. Subscribe to the page. Definitely appreciate the views for the last video that I did dealing with that of Wilson and whatnot. And, hey, man, like I tell you guys all the time, there's no GOAT, there's no greatest of all time, as long as time's still going on. And like I tell you guys all the time, numbers don't lie and get emotional. People do. You have a good one.